Welcome back to Navigating AI with Apex Blue, where we turn scary business questions into calm, doable moves you can actually execute this quarter, not someday. I'm Lyric, your AI Chief Marketing Officer, and today we are walking straight into one of the most emotional topics in business: pricing.
Because let's be honest, changing your price feels a little like walking a tightrope over your bank account. One wrong move, and there go your customers. So a lot of owners do the safest thing: nothing. Same price year after year, while costs creep up and competitors quietly get bolder. Let me paint you a quick story. Two business owners, same industry, similar offers, similar talent. Owner 1 set her price when she launched and never touched it again. She told herself, "My customers are price sensitive. If I raise it, they'll leave." So she just kept working harder. More discounts, longer hours, same base price. Revenue flat, stress up. Owner 2 felt the same fear, but instead of freezing, she ran 3 tiny, carefully designed AI-shaped pricing tests. Same product, slightly different packages, a few different messages, and very small segments. No drama, no big announcement. Within 6 weeks, she'd found a version that added a new mid-tier package, raised effective price by about 12%, and customers stayed. Some were happier because the new package actually matched what they wanted. Same market, different playbook. The difference wasn't courage, it was method. She wasn't guessing, she was experimenting, safely. Today, we're giving you that method. No pricing PhD required. You'll learn how to use AI to spot pricing signals in the data you already have. How to craft human-first price experiments that feel honest, and how to run low-risk tests without turning your business into a science lab.
Pattern detected. This is where most owners either overcomplicate things or ignore them entirely. I'm Nova, your AI Chief Information Officer, and my job today is to strip the fear out of pricing data and show you the minimal signal you actually need to run a smart test.
And I'm Stryker, your AI-driven CTO. If the word experiment makes you imagine expensive software and a team of data scientists, breathe. We're keeping this tool agnostic and small business friendly. No fancy stack required. Just clear decisions and maybe a spreadsheet.
Pulse here, the AI COO. My promise, by the end, you'll have a 30-day pricing sprint you can literally drop into your calendar. Roles, checkpoints, guardrails, and how to bring your team along without chaos. Let's streamline this.
All right, let's jump in. Nova, help us answer the question every owner is thinking right now. Do I even have enough data to do this? Because a lot of people assume they're too small for AI to be useful here.
You likely have more than enough. You just don't recognize it as pricing data yet. Here's the good news. You do not need millions of records or a perfect CRM to start. For a small or medium business, we focus on 4 simple buckets you almost certainly have in some form: sales history, discount patterns, churn or cancellation notes, and who buys what at which price.
First, sales history. Even a basic export from your point-of-sale system or Stripe gives you order date, items, price paid, and maybe customer ID or email. Feed that to an AI assistant and ask, "Summarize my average order value by product over the last 12 months. Show me any noticeable shifts around times when prices changed or we ran promotions." You're looking for elastic signals, places where a small price change or offer tweak led to a noticeable shift in volume or revenue.
Second, discount patterns. Where are you constantly shaving a bit off? If your team repeatedly gives 10% away to close a deal, that's a pricing signal. You can ask AI to scan notes, invoices, or even email threads and surface patterns like customers who ask for discounts often buy X package but not Y, or deals close faster when we bundle A and B. That's fertile ground for testable packages.
Yeah, if your sales reps basically invented an unofficial, secret, mid-tier package on the fly, that's a product you should probably formalize and test instead of leaving it to improvisation. That's a solvable bottleneck.
Exactly. Third, churn triggers. Even if you don't have a robust exit survey, you probably have cancellation reasons in notes, emails, or support tickets. Too expensive, not using it enough, switched to a cheaper option. Run that text through an AI model and have it cluster the reasons. Often the story isn't simply price is too high, it's price feels too high for this specific value or usage pattern. That nuance is where smarter pricing experiments live.
Finally, micro-segmentation. Even a small list usually breaks into natural groups: loyal repeat buyers, coupon hunters, new customers from a specific channel, or customers who only buy add-ons. You can ask, group my customers into 3 to 5 segments based on purchase behavior, and describe each segment in plain language. Once you see those micro-segments, AI can help suggest test cohorts. For instance, instead of raising price on everyone, you might test a new bundle only with your most engaged segment, or try a slightly higher price only on a new offering for new customers. Efficiency is inevitable when you stop treating your entire customer base as one blob.
I love that you use the word blob, because that's how a lot of owners talk about their customers. One big group with one price. Humans don't behave like a blob. They behave like clusters of stories. That loyal segment might happily pay more if you wrap the offer in something that actually matches how they use you.
And from an operations angle, those segments are your test playgrounds. You're not rolling a grenade into your entire customer base. You're saying, this specific group gets a thoughtful variation with clear communication and safety nets. That removes so much fear from your team.
So to recap Nova's piece in plain language, you don't need perfect data. You just need a basic history of who bought what, for how much, where you cave on discounts, and why some people leave. Then you let AI highlight patterns and suggest a few small cohorts to test on. Now, let's shift into my favorite part, how you frame these pricing experiments so they feel honest, human, and actually attractive. Because raising price without raising perceived value is how you break trust. And humans love this stuff when you do it right. Here's the mindset shift. You're not charging more for the same thing. You're discovering which combination of price, packaging, and promise best matches the value in your customer's head. So we design tests around 3 levers: what you call it, how you bundle it, and what you say about it. First, naming packages. Names are tiny stories. Basic Pro Enterprise might work in SaaS, but for a local service or boutique product, that can feel cold. Use AI to brainstorm names that reflect outcomes instead of internal jargon. Prompt like, given this service description and these customer testimonials, generate 10 package name sets that emphasize outcomes, fast results, peace of mind, full service support. Then pick a set where each tier clearly answers, who is this for, and why does it cost more? That's viral energy when it clicks in a customer's brain. Second, framing value. As you test a higher price, you're also testing a sharper promise. Instead of, we raised prices due to costs, try, we've added X, Y, and Z so you get A, B, and C outcomes. This new package is built for customers who want faster turnaround and less hassle. Ask AI, rewrite this offer description to emphasize outcomes and time saved, not just features. Give me 3 versions:
budget-friendly, balanced, and premium positioning. This needs sparkle, but honest sparkle, not hype. Third, ethical anchors and decoys. Yes, you can use a higher-priced option to make your main offer look more attractive, but the goal isn't to trick people. It's to give them a clear comparison that reflects real value. An ethical decoy is an option that some people genuinely should pick, even if fewer do. For example, a high-touch, white-glove package at a premium price that a small percentage loves because it truly serves them. That makes your mid-tier look more accessible, but the top tier still has real substance.
And from the data side, you'll see that play out as different attach rates. If almost no one picks the top tier, but its existence boosts conversion to the middle tier and overall revenue per visitor, that's a win, as long as it's honest and deliverable.
Exactly. The red flag is when a decoy is purely psychological wallpaper with no real value. That's when trust erodes. So as you design your experiments, ask AI not just, how do I increase price, but help me write offer descriptions and FAQs that make the differences between tiers crystal clear and reassure customers that they can choose what's right for them. Creativity unlocked. One more practical piece: messaging the experiment itself. For small tests, you don't need a dramatic, "we're raising prices" announcement. You might quietly introduce a new package for new customers, or run a limited-time pilot like, "We're testing a streamlined package for clients who value faster turnaround. Here's what's included and what it costs." The honesty is in the clarity, not necessarily in broadcasting the word experiment.
And don't forget existing customers. If you're worried about upsetting loyal folks, you can lock them into legacy pricing for a period, or give them a clear, respectful upgrade path. A simple note like, "Because you've been with us, you'll keep your current rate for the next 12 months, and here's what your options look like after," goes a long way in preserving trust.
All right, so we've got signals and we've got story. Let's talk execution. How do you actually run these pricing experiments without turning your tech stack into a Frankensystem? Think in 3 layers: design, deployment, and measurement. Design is where you answer 4 questions before you touch a single tool. What are my 2 variants? Who sees which version? How long will I run this? And what metric decides the winner? Let's say you run a local home services business. Variant A is your current package at $199. Variant B is a slightly enhanced package at $229 with a clearer guarantee and 1 extra service. You decide. New website visitors from paid ads see a split: half get A, half get B. Or, for a simpler version, week 1 you show A, week 2 you show B. Not perfect science, but better than guessing.
Deployment on a small business budget can be as simple as duplicating a landing page with the new price and package, creating 2 checkout links in your payment processor, 1 for each price, using an AI-friendly website builder or landing page tool that lets you A/B test headlines and pricing blocks. You don't need a complex experimentation platform. You need a way to cleanly separate who saw what and where they clicked. Precision wins, but we're not chasing perfection on day 1. Measurement is where most tests fall apart because nobody defined success up front. Before you launch, ask, what does better mean? Is it higher conversion rate? Higher revenue per visitor? Similar conversion, but more profit? Then pick a measurement window that fits your sales cycle, maybe 2 to 4 weeks for simple offers, longer if your sales cycle is slow. Use AI to help here too. Export your data, visits, conversions, revenue, from each variant, and ask, compare variant A and variant B over this date range. Is the difference in conversion or revenue statistically meaningful? Explain it in plain language.
And insist on guardrails. For example, we won't call this a winner unless we have at least 100 visitors per variant and a 10% relative lift in revenue per visitor. That prevents you from declaring victory based on 3 lucky days. Clarity achieved when you define thresholds before feelings get involved.
I love that you said before feelings get involved, because pricing is emotional for owners and customers. That's why the message and the math have to work together. You're not just moving numbers, you're reshaping expectations.
Exactly. And one more technical safeguard: holdout groups. You can intentionally leave a slice of traffic or a small group of existing customers completely untouched. That gives you a baseline. If everything suddenly dips across the board, it's not your test. It might be seasonality or a broader market shift. Architecting the fix requires knowing whether the test caused the change or the world did.
Okay, you've just heard a lot of moving parts. Cohorts, variants, metrics, holdouts. Let's remove the friction and turn this into something you can run in 30 days without losing your mind or your team. Here's the 30-day pricing sprint. Week 1, decide and design. Pick one product or service that already sells. Pull 6 to 12 months of simple sales data, no perfection needed. With AI's help, identify 1 or 2 microsegments to test on. Define variant A and variant B, including names, price, and value story. Set success metrics and guardrails, minimum sample size, time it lift, and how long you'll run the test. Week 2, build and brief. Create the actual assets: 2 landing pages or offer sections, 2 checkout links, maybe 2 email sequences. Use AI to draft and refine your messaging, FAQs, and internal scripts for your team. Brief your frontline people, sales, support, front desk. Explain what's changing, who gets which offer, and how to respond if customers ask about pricing differences. Set up your basic tracking. Even a shared spreadsheet with daily numbers for each variant is fine to start. Week 3, run the test. Turn it on. Don't tweak it every day. Let the data accumulate. Monitor, but don't panic. Remember your holdout group if you've got one. Have a clear refund or adjustment policy ready. For example, if any customer in the test group feels the new package isn't worth it, we'll honor the old rate for 30 days. That's your trust safety net. Meet once midweek for 20 minutes to review early trends without making decisions yet. Week 4. Decide and operationalize. Export the numbers and run them through AI with a clear prompt. Explain to a non-technical founder which variant performed better and why, including any caveats. Decide, keep, tweak, or kill the new price or package. If it's a winner, update your standard operating procedures, your website, your scripts, and your CRM so everyone's using the same pricing going forward. Run a brief internal retro. What made this sprint smooth? What felt chaotic? Let the process lead into your next experiment.
Notice Pulse didn't say, run this once and never touch pricing again. The real win is building a repeatable loop. Observe signal, design a safe test, run it, learn, and then feed those learnings back into your next iteration. You're turning pricing from a one-time scary event into a quiet, continuous learning system.
And when you do that, the story you tell yourself about pricing changes from "I'm going to upset everyone" to "I'm learning what my best customers value most and aligning my price with that." That feels a lot better, right?
Plus, every experiment you run now makes the next one cheaper and easier. Systems never sleep, and your stack gets smarter as you go. Deploying now beats overthinking forever.
All right, let's bring this home with 3 actions you can take as soon as this episode ends. Action 1. Pick one product or service to focus on, not your whole catalog, just one. Open your sales history and, with help from an AI assistant, Summarize who's buying it, at what price, and how often you discount it. That's your starting signal.
Action 2. Define 2 test variants. Use AI to help you craft names, descriptions, and FAQs for your current version and a slightly adjusted version, maybe a new bundle, a clearer guarantee, or a modest price increase with added value. Write down your success metric and guardrails before you launch.
Action 3. Schedule your 30-day sprint. Literally block 4 weeks on your calendar with those phases. Decide and design. Build and brief. Run, decide, and operationalize. Invite the people who will actually touch customers and tools. When the calendar owns it, it happens.
If you want help designing your first AI-backed pricing experiment, or you're curious how Apex Blue builds these systems for clients, head over to our site at apexblue.ai. You'll find resources, examples, and ways to work with our AI C-suite, so you're not doing this alone. That's it for today's episode of Navigating AI with Apex Blue. Stay smart, stay curious, and stay ahead.